Instagram. Just waiting for Facebook here. Okay, Facebook is up. Good morning and welcome to day 14 of my 14-day subtle meditation boost. This is the last day of the challenge or the boost or whatever you want to call it, the series. Um, Thank you so much for being here and for all the wonderful comments and questions. Some people have posted comments and questions on the video. Some people have sent me emails or Facebook messages, and all of those are really appreciated and help me to understand better what your needs are for this video series. The survey, by the way, is over, but it's still up. So if you want to take the survey, feel free to do that. If you have ideas for my next series, let me know. I have some ideas brewing, but I'd love to hear from you too. Okay, so today's the last day of our challenge, and I thought I would talk today about what I like to call the subtlest secret of meditation, which is very similar to the subtlest secret of pranayama. And you could think about it like meditation is your birthright. That's what I wrote in the description, but I wanted to explain that more. When you think about how long we're here as human beings for, you never know how long you're going to live, but pretty much life is a terminal condition, as we used to say when I worked in hospice. For everyone. I mean, everyone has the end of the time that we're here. And even if you live for 100 years, it's still a very short amount of time, really, and when you think about it. And the reason I'm talking about that in terms of meditation is because when you think about that question, when you think about that idea, and a lot of us don't like to think about it for obvious reasons, but when we think about the idea that we have a short amount of time here, then the most pressing question becomes, well, what are you going to do with your time while you're here? Basically, I think there's two things we can do. One is to know ourselves better, to really understand who we are. And I think the second thing that we can do is help other people. And I think if those two things are kind of kept in, but we keep the focus on that, then what to do with our life becomes a lot clearer. And so, the first thing to do, or one of the things to do, you do them in tandem, is understand who you are. And how do you understand who you are? You have to get quiet to do that. You have to look inside, because you're never going to find it outside of yourself. I remember when I was living in Asia, I lived there for 4 years. I met my meditation teacher in Tokyo, and she was wearing long orange robes. She was from Australia. And I remember thinking, oh my God, in Japan, like already you're a foreigner, you're weird, but then she's in these long orange robes. And I was like, really freaked out. But I started talking to her and I thought, oh my gosh, this person has such a deep insight. And so she moved very soon after I met her. She went to Mongolia because it was 1992 or 93. So the Soviet Union had collapsed in 1990. And so there were all these street children. Mongolia had been a satellite of the Soviet Union. And so the whole economy just collapsed and there were street children. People just couldn't take care of their children. So there were children everywhere. So she went to Mongolia. She started a children's home, which is now the largest children's home in Mongolia. And she just started taking these kids in, And so I was still in Japan and I was traveling around India a lot, and I had been in touch with her and I thought I have to go see her again. I was trying to figure out who I was. I was a young woman. I was confused about the meaning and purpose of my life. I didn't have a sense of my identity. I was really struggling, searching for who I was. And so I went to see her in Mongolia, and and I stayed there for, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks, and helping her with the kids and, just kind of hanging out with her. She wasn't a person who talked a lot, but I learned a lot just by being around her. And so one day she took me out to the fields where they throw the bodies in Mongolia. their Mongolians are Tibetan Buddhists, so they do sky burials where you just let the body go out into a field, into like one of the burial fields, and then the animals eat the body. So she took me to that place to see the bodies, and I was like, oh my goodness. It was real. I was like standing back like this is death. And she's going up to him going, I think this one might be a woman, with her face covered. so, so after we went to the fields, we were walking back, and she said to me, a lot of people spend a lot of time on what they look like. Uh, they spend money and time buying clothes and makeup and surgeries and whatever else. And she said, but we all end up like that. It had such a strong impression on me. And I still think about it today. The idea is like, if this is where life goes with your physical body, then it makes a lot of sense to develop the parts of yourself that are not only your physical body. And the practice of meditation is what gives us that opportunity, to figure out who we are and to define our meaning and purpose. When you know who you are, right, that's the process of meditation, or to figure out. I don't know that you ever know who you are, but it's a process, right? So you do the process of meditation to figure out who you are. And then the purpose and meaning start to arise, and that tells us what to do. And that tells us what we came here for and how we're here to serve. So I hope that is I hope that's helpful for you in thinking about how to prioritize meditation, because meditation is really the thing that will get you from here to there in terms of understanding who you are, and also will give you that deeper sense of meaning and purpose in life. And all the research shows that is what makes people happy, having a sense of meaning and purpose. Sense of community, of course, is important, and relationships are important, but meaning and purpose is kind of the key. So this idea of meditation is your birthright, because this physical body and the mind are actually the vehicles. They're the machine for meditation. You have evolved with that. I would say that evolution is the result, or the drive towards self-understanding. And this physical structure exists so that you can understand yourself. I mean, that's why we've come into these bodies, according to the yoga philosophies. So I would say that meditation is your birthright in that sense. And I would also say that when you get deep into that meditative state, when you start to practice regularly, it starts to become a part of you. That the subtlest secret of meditation is that the whole universe has conspired to help you understand who you are. And it's an unveiling of that reality that happens through the practices. So if you like, we can sit here for a moment, the shoulders soft and the muscles in your face soft. And if you like, you can soften or close your eyes and start to follow your breath in and out through your nose. Noticing the flow of your breath. And beginning to notice the sound of your breath. And the sound of your breath carries the vibration or the sound of mantra. And the mantra carries the vibration of your identity. Who you are beyond all the labels, beyond all the roles. And take a moment to listen to that sound as if it's coming from inside of you, as if it's coming from all the cells in your body. And listen to the sound of the mantra coming from all around you as well, coming from the sound, the ambient sounds around you. As if the whole universe is vibrated with the sound of your mantra. I hope you've enjoyed this 14-day meditation boost. Please leave questions and comments. And I'll be back soon-ish, I don't know when, with another series. Thank you for being here. Namaste.